The papyrus, put it on my table every month. I don't wanna miss it. Don't even try to hide it. No, I don't wanna lose it. And you see how it is, it's so inviting. The papyrus, we're all so online. The papyrus, put it on my tab every month.
Welcome to the Papyrus TV Africa. My name is Dofan Abu Amali. Today we are here with a very fantastic gentleman. We are here with Mr. Theo Ubani. He is the Managing Director of Top 2 Group.
Top 2 Group comprises of several companies. It comprises of Tob Associates Limited. That's our management consultancy outfit.
Okay.
Because I was a management consultant in London, in the 90s and 2000 period. And we also have the ZNJ Technologies Limited. That is our technology firm that handles all our technology projects. We also have Satel Construction Limited. Let's
hold on with the technology.
That's right.
Because that is what Nigeria really requires right now. Can you go into the depths of what the technology aspect of your company does?
We write softwares. We originate our own softwares that we write for organizations. So if you tell us what you want your business to do, then we will automate it and then program it, write a software that will respond to that particular need. I say, for example, I was in Chikun local government a few years ago, and I...
That's Chikun in Kaduna State.
Chikun, sorry.
No, it's fine. I just wanted them to understand.
Yes, it was in Kaduna State, and I told the Honorable Hadiza, who was the chairman, the interim chairman of the
local government at that time.
And then they wanted to automate their motor park system whereby the ticketing will be automated. Instead of giving out just paper and nobody accounts for it, they will just give you one, print another one, and then you come back at the end of the day, they will tell you nothing. But you can set up a barrier system that enables you, just like when you are passing through the airport, it will not open until you have paid. So those kind of things are things we have the technology to do, just on a more practical level that you can
understand,
relate to. We also do what you call office automation. Still works on the same principle. What are your work processes? For example, your company, as you are preparing to interview us today, you have to get a cameraman, you have to get logistics people, you have to get the props and the rest of them. So we can actually write a program, for you that will follow all those trails of what your activities involve. Then it could just be automated and reminders sent to people, and then this cannot happen until the other one happens. We also have Satel Construction Limited, so those ones we are mainly into heavy civil engineering, like big erosion sites. We remediate it and make sure that we fix it. We also do road construction with them, and then we also do building construction with them.
So who are your major clients? Who are the major people you target?
Different companies target different group. Each of the companies have their own client base. The technology company, as I said, it can target private, public sector, private sector, any group. Construction, we only work with the public sector. In our construction business. In our management consultancy business, because we also do capacity building for a lot of organizations, so both private sector, public sector, we do capacity building for government departments and senior level directors and the rest of them. We've done capacity building for the police, the deputy commissioners of police and the rest of them. And then we don't do rank and file, so we only do at top management level. So where we support them to be more effective in the work they do. So the Top 2 itself still is a company, but it just bears the name because it's the mother company. top two into power projects. We do IPPs, independent power projects. So we conceptualize it, we can design it and get you to do it.
And how have you been able to incorporate and carry all this plenty things together?
They didn't originate all at the same time. They were kind of phases. Top two came in, told associates came in, the management consultants, people. And then the technology company was bettered. The Satel construction was the last to come on board. So they come in at different stages, but they've all been existing in the last, at least in the last, within the last 10 years. But top two have been around longer. Yes. The major take there is to know how to delegate, how to outsource some of those responsibilities, and also know that there will be lapses, there will be shortages, you'll be shortchanged from time to time. Yeah, that is cost. That's the burden that you have to bear for growth. So you have to allow people to do things like I'm sitting here. I have made calls to about 4 different sites this morning, or in different parts of the country, where things are happening for us, and then checking what the engineers are doing and the project engineers what they are doing. What is the tax for today? Have you leased the equipment? Have you paid? Have you ensured there is security? Is it adequate? Have you gone to procure materials for the week, and then back to the people in Abuja, have you got to your materials and the rest of them? So once that is done, so I'm ready for my day now, because from after this conversation now, I'm moving on to client to have a meeting on a new proposal.
We have discovered over time that even when you're training some people, character is one of the most difficult things to change. So people just don't try to adapt. Can you just tell us how you have been able to go around that area generally?
I think the workforce issues is one of the main challenges to the development of the country, and that's the missing link that people don't tend to understand. If managers or business owners want to be truthful to you, they will tell you that the so-called youth being an asset of the country or whatever is a mirage, because you have the abundance of the youths without proper skills, and then you went into an area which is also pertinent to me, character, because there is a character malfunction, because one of the what I call life skills as a trainer, somebody that does capacity building at high level for other CEOs and other business leaders. One of the issues that we have is that the basic, what I call basic life skills. Skills that tell people that there are certain skills that you need money to acquire. And one of them that you cannot buy is your character. If you've got a bad character, like you say, you've got a bloody bad character, there's nothing to, there's no amount of money, or no amount of brushing, painting that can change that. And that's one of the issues that we have. Then there are other basic skills. I tell people the ability to smile is a skill. The ability to be pleasant or say greetings to people. Where I'm coming from in England, because when we interviewed people, when I was still working for government office for London and London Development Agency, and then when I was seconded to office of Deputy Prime Minister, is one of the skills that we are looking for in interviews is what we call interpersonal skills. I mean, anybody can get a degree in England, but those interpersonal skills are very difficult to get. So, when we ask you for interpersonal skills, we now start asking ability to be courteous, ability to show empathy, ability to, diligence and passion and the rest of them. So we now start diving into issues which is neglected in most interviews in the country. In Nigeria at the moment, except some few companies have started picking up on that. So what happens is that you now get to the workplace, you have people who are not prepared for work.
That's true.
So you have graduates, in quotes, who are not prepared for the workplace. The workplace requires a bit of organization. That is why in interviews in the UK we ask for organizational skills, and you must demonstrate. Even if it's your first job, you still need to demonstrate it, relate it to your personal life. We must have to get people to be organized. Otherwise, you will have like kind of a long stretch as employer to go, because you will be organizing adults. And to organize an adult, before you know it, the adults will take offense, the adults will develop attitude that you're picking on me, you don't, and all sorts of issues. And then we'll be telling you if you are from a different tribe. And they will now say that because I'm this tribe or because I'm this religion, that's why my guy is picking up on.
There are lack of jobs, opportunity in Nigeria, or would you say that the youths are not ready to pick up on the opportunities there are, and then it has turned a lot of CEOs to become
multitasking?
No, not really multitasking, but it has hampered how the businesses would have expanded and maybe accommodate a lot of more youths. Employment-wise.
Yeah, you're on spot on that. One of the things in building on businesses is that if the business is growing, you find that you'll be needing more staff. So each time that we recently created what we call Zonju Foods, and then today Zonju Foods within 3 months or so is already employing about 6-7 people directly, just by creating one business. So that is just a job opportunity we've created this year. And then still the same year we've expanded. We have brought in more engineers. We have brought in 2 more engineers this year because we are expanding as we are getting more projects, we are employing more levels. So this year alone, I think we've taken one civil engineer, one electrical engineer, and another civil engineer. So in the course of just 2019, 2020, despite the challenges, and on the food and entertainment side of Zonju, we've employed, so altogether we've almost recruited about 10 people directly into the workforce this year. So you find out that that is why it's very important that the entrepreneurs, serious-minded businesses are encouraged. Because imagine if we are 1,000 of us that have done 10, that's already 10,000 Nigerians. I'm just talking about this year alone, if despite the COVID and the rest of them. So there are still organizations. I mean, although the number of redundancies, does not equate to the number of opportunities, simply because the people are not prepared. And then another area is that the area that creates the most job is not being addressed. It's not being addressed. So everything is left out there for the survival of the fittest, I would call it. That's what I reckon. Because there are sectors that create more jobs than the other. Take, for example, the financial sector does not create more jobs. How many people work in the bank and all the insurance companies in the country? I don't think they are up to 20,000. I don't think they are up to 30,000. You can quote me or you can do your research. I'm not dead sport, but I'm saying the best scenario could be 40,000 of them, or I mean, in that entire financial sector. Or let's give them 50,000. Let's be generous. Both brokers, brokers, microfinance, and the rest of them. And yet, that particular sector might be contributing for 40% to the GDP or 30% to the GDP. So you equate it with the number of, and then employing less than 0.001 or 0.02% of the workforce. So you now see where the issues will start piling up, and that is where people are queuing. I want a job in the financial sector and the rest of them. Then flip it, if I might say, and then this is where the government provides the guidance and the leadership. When you flip it to, say, what I call environmental jobs, the jobs tied to the environment. And what do I mean job tied to the environment? Job tied to the environment in terms of, tied to environment and enforcement.
Okay.
In terms of either waste management, right? Waste management, hygiene, planning, physical planning, and the rest of them, construction and the rest. And then you're also talking about enforcement in the area of making sure that people are doing the right things across board, both within health-wise, physical-wise, street-wise, and compliance-wise. You now start seeing millions of jobs cropping up. Just by mentioning, you can now even envision, yes, where and how those jobs are going to crop up. But if you're addressing it in a laissez-faire way and without coordination, then you will find out that we keep struggling. Every day we are saying the same thing: youth unemployment, our youth are not employed. Yeah, of course, how can they get employed? I ask people, which employment? You got to create the environment for them to be employed. And then if you don't create it, we can sing it today, we can protest it from now till whatever age to come. It will still be the same. And I don't see any changes, because I don't see any changes happening, because policymakers need to understand how the public space works. You need to understand how what I call public space means, the society. You need to understand how it works. If you don't understand how it works, you will just be flapping.
Yeah.
I mean, it pains me. I always say it's a big danger, to the society. Whenever I see hordes of young men, roaming about by 10 a.m. By 10 a.m. Roaming about the streets. Some of them already drinking by 10 a.m. in the morning. It's a time bomb. It's a time bomb because these people don't have much education. They don't have much education, and they don't have much skills. Even the basic life skill of being able to maintain themselves or carry out themselves, greetings, be polite, be courteous, be friendly, smile, and all those things, they don't have. So how do you talk about employing these people? And then people can make politics of whatever they want. I tell people I'm not really interested in the politics of it. You can make whatever politics you choose to. But the bottom line is that if you are not addressing the root causes of why do we have these hordes of people roaming about by 10 a.m. in the morning, I call it the 10 a.m. Syndrome. By 10 a.m. in the morning, they are roaming about doing virtually nothing. On a more practical level, I'm not advising government here, on a more practical level, I give an example. When we go into a community to carry out works, maybe it's a project of 500 million, 200 million, 100 million naira, or whatever the value of the project will be. By the time we get into that community and start working, get the locals involved, every day we are putting in, on daily basis, we are pushing in at least 150, 200,000 into the local economy. Some days we push in 1 million, some days we push in 500,000, depending on the stage of the job. And there are some days we push in 5 million naira into that community. That is direct cash that goes into that community. And what happens? What happens? The food sellers, the women selling the food, everybody is happy, smiling. They are cooking more. The beer sellers, they are selling more. The palm wine sellers, everybody crops up.
The economy transforms automatically.
the nightlife changes by just introducing direct cash being paid to laborers different places. By just introducing that on a daily level, we transform the whole community. All those Bates Niger boys, some of them leave it because they know that they can get about 2,000, 3,000 or 4,000 naira labor just by showing up on site. Sit back, analyze those things, analyze the impact, analyze the effect of our activities, our footprint on the community, and then we notice that it's been very positive. The ones that want to work are really eager to work. But what happens, even the ones that don't want to work, the youth that don't want to work, when they see others are getting a lot of spare change, they can now buy you food, they can buy you drink in the evening. The next day you are encouraged, you want to follow, you want to turn up. So even that is also having a correctional effect.
We have been talking to Mr. Theo Ubani. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, we will meet him closely. What does he like? What are the things that drive him? So we are going to go personal.
A compassionate human being, and very entrepreneurial, and forward-looking and positive, and just like our general society to improve, for people to have a quality living and make best use of opportunities and aspirations and wherever they happen to be. Material science, my first degree was in material science and metallurgy at Greenwich University, London. I studied my first degree at England, and then also my postgraduate was on policy studies when I joined the UK public service. So I was asked to go back to school so I get a bit of flair for policy making since I came from science background. So I studied at Middlesex University. Yes, where I had my postgraduate degree. When the enterprise is flourishing and the effort is yielding results, then it drives me. So I can be up by 3 a.m. if that will make things to happen by 6 a.m. Parents for their lot. Looking back now, and then looking back where things are in Nigeria now, and coming from where we came after all those civil war. I was born around the time of the civil war and stuff, and then coming out of what you just know that there was war, we didn't really know what happened because we were born in between that period, and then the rest was good because we still had a safe play area. We still go to play games, play after school and all the rest of them, despite the little infrastructure we had, but we still had a lot of local fun, a lot of discipline, all those boys brigade activities, and where you are meant to conform, and other activities at the church, other activities after school, extramural lessons and the rest of them during the holidays. And then we go on extramural, we go on trips, and these things were not costly as it is today. So looking back, I would say that it was a privilege, I had that privilege growing up, and I'm happy.
How do you relax? How do you rest? How do you unwind?
I work a lot and travel a lot too. I visited all the major cities in the world. So, and then what I do is that if my business is for 3-4 days, I make it I double. I add another 3-4 days for my
Relaxation.
Yeah, virtually all the cities I visited, I have a story to tell, one thing or the other about the city. So it helps me in terms of relaxing. But on a typical day, you are on a typical day I'm in Abuja, Nigeria, and then which is my base. On a typical day after work, so we go out to either do my exercise or hang out with friends, and then go to certain spots where we can have the local roasts and all those things. I do take some bit of alcohol, maybe mixing my Guinness with Coke gives me perfect pleasure because it just makes me to want to take it and enjoy it. My friends don't like it. They say they should take it straight and obviously, but I say it makes a lot of sense. If it is what I enjoy, it should be about what I enjoy, not what you enjoy. My philosophy in life is that you should learn how to accommodate others. I have seen a bit now for my philosophy to change from hard work or I'm smart, and that is why I'm better than you. And the rest of them. I just realized that we need to accommodate. We need to learn to accommodate others.
Yeah.
If you learn to accommodate others, there will be less tension and pressure and all those things. And I'm just summarizing what I can talk about for a whole day by just saying learn to accommodate learn to accommodate others. That's just how I will summarize it. I believe in all the ethos, all those general ethos of hard work, honesty, diligence, patience, perseverance. All those stuff are out there. I mean, they help, but I'm just saying, above all, learn to accommodate others. Because if you learn to accommodate others, there will be harmony. That things can move smoothly. So I have learned that the virtue of being, I don't know whether it's prosperous, whether it's wealthy, whether it's
maybe successful,
or however you call it, is to realize or accommodate the ones that are not successful. That's your virtue. So instead of you trying to match on them, you should actually realize that your success was it should be the virtues of it should be that you're also using it to lift people who were not as successful as you. The virtue of the success that I have achieved is for me to now recognize that I should just be giving back. So just to be giving back these days and mentoring, empowering others to be able to catch up with me, I'm right to say, because when everybody is progressing, then the society is less tense. And the issues that cause all the confusion, becomes smaller.
Your greatest achievement, what would you say is your greatest achievement?
My greatest achievement is to recognize my calling, which is to be able to understand my place in the society, is to make sure that my God-given talents, I'm not using it to support others, to get others to aspire to do the things I'm doing, or to succeed the way I have succeeded in my endeavors. And I think that's what I would say is my greatest achievement. It's not really about whether you've done this business, you've done that business, or you've done that, and the rest of them. So most of what you realize at my level of doing business is that you notice that everything is about giving back now. Everything is about giving back. And unfortunately, Dufan, there are less of giving back in Nigeria. So you find out that people accumulate what they don't need. And because they accumulate what they don't need, they are always under pressure. As you're driving and you're looking at your bag, you need to hire a convoy of policemen to follow you. You need another battalion to guide the house. Then you need a division to be in your village to wait. So, and the rest of them. And then you just realize that these things, they are just cyclic. So the point is that if you're giving back, the people will be there for you.
They will protect you.
Yes, they will stand up for you. Even when you enter your place or where you are going, they will help you. Just like the people that live on this street across here. There are people living in the park across where we are sitting here. They live under the bridge. So I do an outreach for them. Every Sunday, feed them, get the people who don't have certain things, people who are ill, just giving them 2,000 naira to buy drugs. They smile on their face, and how they just, and then a woman yesterday was pregnant, she's not eating well. I'm sure that child might have an issue. You give her some money to go and buy food. The money I will not, there's not even enough for me to do anything. You give it to her. She's living that so down before what for what? So you find out that at this level now you're getting all sorts. You're getting people who just got injured, they got malaria, which your odd 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 or 4,000 could have saved their life, which to me does not affect it doesn't affect my bottom line. When I get the credit alert,
money, right?
When I get the credit alert, the best part of my job is to see people around me improving and then coming up. I have a lot of young people working for me, and some of them are studying abroad and they are coming back to rejoin the company, and the rest of them, and they always are abroad there, and they are coming, they want to come back for their job when they finish their masters, and all the rest of them, and those things gives me joy that they have traveled and they are still happy. They are still happy to come back to their job when they come. And then one is coming back in January, and then the rest of them are coming back from Australia. He's finished his masters and the rest of them.
Wow.
So those kind of things gives me joy that despite having gone there, they still want to come back and join top two group. Yes. So that means there must be something
that is you're doing right.
Maybe my regrets could be say that I didn't start doing enough of what I'm doing earlier. So I just felt I wasted a lot of resources on things, knowing now that I could have put those resources
into
better use, especially doing supporting humanity, doing things, and getting more people out of poverty or some destitute people, getting them back into mainstream to succeed. I think there are certain things I've done in the past that looking back, I wish I did it. I wish I was doing what I'm doing now, because I have more fulfillment reaching out to people I don't know, which is the greatest virtue, is being able to assist those who are not going to be of any assistance to you. So I wish I was doing more of that earlier on, because we have spent so much resources on certain areas that looking back we should have plugged those resources in a different direction. But now that we've started, we are happy.
Yeah.
The advice I have for the Nigerian youths, I wish I can get a platform to talk to them, apart from the platform you've provided. One of the things we found that I need to really stress, and I want to be stressing it a lot in the new year, is around volunteering. I mean, there is so little volunteerism in Nigeria. In the UK, for example, if you don't have a job to find, you go and do voluntary work. Voluntary work means you don't get paid, but you are getting the experience. If you do finish doing it, you are given like a job reference. That job reference that you get is actually your passport to getting a better employment.
Yeah.
Because by the time you go for that job, you will tell them that you have served as a volunteer here, and the employer is happy that you have done something positive. So why is it that nobody wants to volunteer unless you pay them money?
And they don't know nothing.
Yes, and then even and
they
then
know
yes,
nothing.
they know nothing, and then they still want you to pay. So
Pay
I
and your
will,
training.
I would rather ask people. It's like what we say, what I normally tell people when I run leadership training and courses. I tell them, if you want to be great, then start by serving.
That's true.
If you want to be great, start by serving. If that's the only way, that's your shortest way to being great, because the other routes that you want to take is crowded. One, you don't have money, you're not a first class brain, your dad is not Dangote or Buhari or whatever. So how do you get there? You can only enter that particular club through service. That's why I tell people, it's through service. The way you serve and the way you relate to people is what will introduce you. It's what will introduce you to the world. You know, take for example, you have a very brilliant and hardworking security man. Let's just we can do an experiment on that. We can do a research, both of us, on what I'm telling you. You have an intelligent and hardworking gate man, for example. How would that gate man life change from the village where he comes from? It's not going to change because you're paying him the odd 20, 25,000 or 30,000 naira salary a month. That's not how the life is going to change. The life of that gate man is going to change the day he realizes himself that he needs to take opening of that gate as if it is his own, as if his world depends on that. And how do we do it? As you are opening the gate, you are saying, "Welcome, sir, good morning, sir," and everything. And some of them even run out, and then before you come out from this meeting, they will have finished washing your cars and then painted it in such a way that it's looking very smart. And as you're going, they will tell you, have a nice day, man. Dufan, he does that 2-3 times to my contacts, or 4-5 times to my contacts.
Why
People
here?
will start taking notice. Is it not? They will start taking notice. Theo, they will now be the one advocating Theo. We think that this guy should look at accident victims. There will be an accident on the road. Everybody will park. Everybody will block the express because of the accident, both on this side and on the other side. And what are people doing? They are filming the accident.
Victims.
And then nobody is doing anything first to rescue them, because what? It's a good
Reportage.
yes.
It's a good thing to post online.
It's a good thing to post online, that you will be the first one that posted it. Whereas in the UK, failure to attend to an accident victim, if it is in the UK, every damn person in that crowd, if they get hold of you, they will arrest you, they will prosecute you, you will go to jail because you failed to provide assistance.
To a native person.
Yes, to a victim of an accident. So why can't we, as a society, learn that these things are not proper? And yet we are telling them, Nigerian youth, everything is reduced to job. We are not addressing That's the mindset, the issues that are causing this wholesome abandonment. How can somebody, a young person, 20-year-old, 21-year-old, 18-year-old, 19-year-old, stay awake all night to watch, during the season they were doing it, to watch reality TV?
Yeah, that's true. Big Brother.
How would you, I asked in England, how will you even think about it? In America, you cannot even, it won't occur to you different. Why? Because you are getting up by 6 a.m. or 5:30 a.m. to get ready to work. Your train will stop, will come out by 7. Your bus comes out by 6:45, and you need that 6:45 bus to do a 10 minutes ride to the train station. Hello? Yeah. To catch your 7 o'clock. If you miss the 7 o'clock and go on 7:15, the likelihood is that you might be late to work. And going late to work does not even occur to. Are you getting my point? Yeah. It's not even in the equation that if work starts by 8, you need to walk around your travel. No, I'm just giving you an example. So by the time you're coming back, you're trying to fix something to eat. As you're eating, you want to rest
because
a bit, and then there is another day to work. So you find out that what we are now taking to be a norm, that you can, young people can just, I wouldn't want to use a negative word there, like waste. Young people can just allow their time to sleep. I'm trying to avoid using the word wasted, but since you've used it, yes, it can be wasted. You allow your youth to sleep. Then you are having 40-year-old people that cannot pay rent. 45-year-old person that you are supposed to be in the middle of your mortgage. I took out a mortgage of in 1995 in the UK, my home in London. I took it out on mortgage on a 25-year mortgage. My 25-year-old mortgage expired this year, 25 years later. And how old was I? I was just about 20, yes, mid 20, 25, 26 years old. And it has finished. Then you have a battery of people at 50, 60, they're about 40. No even a chance. It's not even in their thinking. Because people are allowing all these years to drift by, and we are thinking it's normal. I mean, I'm just a businessman that love to create opportunities and make money. But also, like I said, I'm a very compassionate, what I call social justice person that look at some of these things and just think that we've lost it, and then you are trying to talk to the young people, and it seems you're preaching to the
deaf and dumb. Mr. Theo is telling you that you should embrace servitude. It will help you. So we need to kill this mentality of it has to be money. When you chase passion, eventually money comes.
The papyrus, put it on my table.